Hi, friends. Welcome to the Unit 3 project, which is the travel log assignment. I am going to purposely put this at the beginning of Unit 3 because I think it's important for you to have this in your mind for the entire unit because, well, you'll see, it's kind of a big deal. So, anyway, let's talk about it. All right, so you have your travel log assignment. Um, the year is 1850. You are going to travel around America and record what you learn through your travels. You must use four means of transportation to travel through two of the cities listed below in each of the three areas. So, two cities in the Northeast, two cities in the South, and two cities in the West. Okay? Look at various maps to plot your journey. First, note the natural and man-made ways that these cities are connected. Then, figure out which modes of transportation you will use to travel from one place to the next. Mark your itinerary on a map, which will be included in your log. You can present your travel log in any way that you prefer, using paper or a Google Doc, a presentation, Google Slides, Canva, video, whatever works. Okay. Um, I really want you guys to use a lot of your creativity to do this because it's a lot of fun. It's a ton of fun, actually. Before you begin your travel log, decide who you are, where you are from, and the purpose of your journey. A list of possibilities follows. Um, Note that some of these would be white males, while others would be women and African Americans as well. Okay, so you get to choose from the list. The one that I get most often is an abolitionist going through the United States to try to persuade other people against slavery. Okay, so that one's kind of boring. But you're the author. You can do whatever you want to. Okay, so I have a lot of different things right here that you can choose from. Include in your introduction who you are and why you're taking the trip and what you want to learn and what you want and what adventures you want to have. Okay. So then you're going to visit two cities in the Northeast, and here are your options. Two cities in the South, here are your options. And two cities in the West, here are your options. Okay. You need to use four modes of transportation. Okay, and there are some options there. I have some information about traveling in um, in 1850 about how far and how long it takes and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, you really want to use this source right here, which is the Atlas of U.S. history. And this is a source that I've had for years and years and years and years. And I'm telling you, it is indispensable. Okay? So, here it has the Louisiana Purchase. It kind of gives you an overview of that. And it shows you some trails. Well, it shows you the Lewis and Clark Trail and where they went. Okay. Then War of 1812, Indian resettlement, that's probably not really that applicable. Exploration opens in the West, so here are some trails out, okay? Here are the urban and rural populations in 1820. Forest and grasslands, and you can kind of see the rivers here. Traveling in a growing nation, so this gives you the inland boat services that were available, okay? You can't just randomly say, I'm going to ride in a boat um, Savannah, Georgia to Salt Lake City. There's not, that service was not available, okay? So you can't do that, all right? Also, here are some canals and what was available. And as far as those went, here, this is a really, really important one. Here are the railroads that were available in 1850, okay? And where they connected, okay? So you cannot just say, I'm going to go from New Orleans to Salt Lake City or New Orleans to St. Louis on the railroad. Okay, because you can't do that. There are no railroads from New Orleans to St. Louis. So you've got to make sure that it's a viable option, okay? I mean, a lot of this you're going to make up, but you really do need to find out that the modes of transportation are viable options, okay? Here are some trails west, Oregon and Washington, stuff like that. So, anyway, this has a ton of information. You really, really, really want to use it. Other sources: Lilly, Library of Congress. Um, I have a game also on Mission US that you could play about slaves trying to get out of the South. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm also going to put down there kind of what we have as far as a school, our school library website, okay? Because that has some good links too, okay? So, for each region that you visit, discuss the topics listed below. Include a minimum of one drawing or sketch of something that you have seen in each region that you visit. Please visit a certain site and tell me what you hear, smell, touch, and taste on that site. I want to know all the details of your adventure. Make it feel like you are really there. Okay, so in the Northeast, tell me about the industrial growth. Tell me about child labor. Tell me about education. Tell me about any of these things. In the South, tell me about the cotton gin, plantation life, slave actions, slave uprisings. In the West, tell me about religious revival. Tell me about the spread of slavery. Tell me about new cities. Tell me about the gold rush. Whatever, okay? So, in starting off your travel log, you're going to tell me who you are, where you're from, and why you are traveling, okay? Provide a date and your location at the time that you are writing. Make sure that as part of it you have a map, okay? That's going to be in your rubric as well. I have to switch your rubric around a little bit, but that will be in there, okay? And then remember that your aim is to write as vividly as possible, okay? So make it so that I really feel like I'm there, okay? In your conclusion, provide your person's viewpoint on life in America now. Include a comparison of the North, South, and West. Did your journey meet your expectations? Why or why not? What have you learned? All of that kind of stuff. Make sure that you have fun in this project, okay? It's mostly supposed to be fun, okay? And make sure that you have works cited at the bottom. So you will be graded on your writing, your introduction, the Northeast, the South, the West, transportation using 4 methods, your artwork, your conclusion, and your works cited. And I'll also put in there your map as well. Okay. So I've gotten copies of this, and I will go ahead and put them for you to look at. And this one doesn't have any artwork, but it has a lot of explanation of the things that they have seen. Okay, and like I said, this is supposed to be fun. Now, something that I think we forget a lot is that that we just don't realize probably is that in 1850 travel was a lot different than it is in 2024. Okay, you didn't just go somewhere for a weekend. Okay, because you didn't have the means necessary to get there. I mean, by the time you got there, the weekend was over, right? And so if you're going to go to one place, you're going to spend a couple of weeks there probably, okay? And so travel just took a lot longer. So keep that in mind as you go through your travel log. And a lot of days are just going to be dead days that you maybe don't write about a lot, and that is okay. All right, because that's just kind of that's how it worked. Okay, I mean, traveling was a lot bigger of a deal in 1850. There were no planes, and there were no cars. Things were a lot slower back then. So, anyway, if you have any questions, please let me know what they are, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye bye.